everybody, this is Christina at Scrapcraft and Stitchery. Welcome to the gently swirling chaos that is my desk today. However, I get to play today. That is what I'm doing, and I am going to play, and I am coming back to my Maximal Journal, which I have started and I have not gotten to play with for a long time. And the last thing I did on this was really taking the rolling pages that I had made, and I bound them in using a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, which is pretty basic, but I did all this beautiful beadwork on this, and look at that. It's sparkly and pretty. So pretty. I love this so much. Anyway, this is supposed to be a maximal to over-the-top kind of a journal. And right now, this cover on the front and the back is pretty plain. Also, there's some glue where I have glued this. Really pretty. I mean, this is a very beautiful burgundy color that perfectly matches these flowers. But I'm going to add some stuff to this today. And I'm going to be bold. I'm going to be brave. And that's what I'm going to do. So probably what I want to do is I want to start by... I have these cute little poems, and somebody cut these all out, and I inherited this bag of poems that somebody has like cut out already for my use, which is fabulous. And so I'm going to do a little, I'm going to collage these first onto the front and the back cover, and I'm going to leave some of this beautiful cardstock showing through, but then I'm going to add some paint to that just to make this look, you know, more junk journal-y, just more junk journal-y. A little bit more fun. That's what I'm doing. I'm decorating the covers of my junk journal today. I'll keep this fairly, but I am going to put some buttons on here, and I might use one of these frames and build this up with some fabrics. I have some lace and things I might want to use over here. And I pulled out just a couple of different things. I also have some charms over here. I know that I already did the beading and this over here, but I was thinking that I have these charms, and I might do something with these. I might save these, but I have a key and a little postcard, which I think the back of the postcard is plain, where you would have like an image for your postcard, and I might attach something to that. It's just a cute little metal postcard, and it says, "I love you" on it. Oh, it's so cute. And so there's that, and then I have this lucky horseshoe that's got a clover, I guess it's a wishbone, and it's got a little clover in it, and it's super cute too. And so I'm excited about that. And anyway, I have all these buttons. I think I'm going to attach all these buttons to the front of this, and that's what I want to do with this. So let's get to collaging. I was painting last night. It was lovely. I got to paint. I painted some background papers yesterday. Just super loved that. And here I am crafting again today, and I act like I never get to do this. I have been doing some stuff, so I haven't been in this journal for several weeks, and because I got a lot of footage on this shot, how do I want to do this? I want these to look like, golly, I want these to look like they're ripped and not cut. I know there's a thing you can do with like maybe a pair of scissors and just rough the edge with something. I guess I could just tear it with my ruler, right? That's like, I mean, a thing that I definitely know how to do. Somebody had a paper hobby. Somebody did. These are cute. This does not feel straight. Or flat, I guess, rather. This is okay. Did that help us? No. No, it did not. Why are we doing this? This doesn't seem to be what we want at all. Okay. I'm gonna throw all these bits of paper. I actually figured out how I can make my own paper, so I am actually gonna keep the tiniest little scraps and I'm going to make them into new paper. So this will be absolutely perfect. I don't know what's going on with this poem. All these other poems seem to be like the full poem, which is kind of lovely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these down with a glue stick, and then I'm going to go over the top of it with like a matte medium. Probably after I've added paint. And I think I have this like peach colored paint that I think is going to go really pretty with this and kind of pull in a little bit of the color from these, the beads. And I'm not worrying about it now. These were all cut out into nice little poems, and I'm gonna cover them all up, so it does not really matter here. And I'm just gonna stop pretending like it does, as I'm like trying to move along. Let's just get, this is a mini journal, so I don't need to go too crazy here getting all of these pages, because it's not going to take too much. There's just not that much real estate on this cover. I do want to do the back too, so I want to have enough for that. And but that's about it. So we could do the inside covers with this as well. Kind of tie that in. There blooms no bud in May. I don't know about that. It certainly does here. Talked to my mom in Idaho, and she is like, it's still freezing here. And I'm like, oh, well, no, stuff has been going here in Memphis for ages now. So, it's actually June here where I'm at now. And it is hot. Yes, it is. It has gotten plenty warm. It has indeed. So here we go. This is lovely. I am getting to do this. So I will do this. I want to make sure, obviously, that these things stay glued down once I get them down. So I'll put them down. And then once they're down, I am going to, I have the paint over them, and that will help kind of keep them down as well. And then, yes, I think I'm going to do a couple more, because I don't think that's going to cover the front and the back as much as I want. I am going to add a lot more other bits and pieces and figure out how I want to attach these butterflies and these other buttons. And all of that to the cover of my Maximal Mini Journal. I'm going to be very brave today, and instead of using white paint, I think I'm going to use this apricot color. Guess I could also use like a pink. There's this hot fuchsia pink in this fabric. I have some more of the fabric out. It's going to be fun. And then, like I said, I have these die cuts, which I think will be really pretty. I don't know. That could be cool. I wonder if we could figure out a way. Maybe that's too much. What if I put all three of these frames on the cover of this journal? That would be maximal. I don't know if there's room. I mean, we could make room for sure. Okay, might as well finish all of these. I have them out. I'm not ripping them anymore. I guess that's gonna have to be okay. They're not gonna match. This is called a council of moderation. Ha 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 ha. There's nothing moderate about this. This is just kind of a wild and crazy. I can do anything. I am gonna do anything and anything in this journal. I'm super excited about it. I have felt a little bit like I'm kind of locked into this like plum color and the pink that's on the cover. So I'm gonna have to work on myself to get over that. Okay, I have all of these. These are all distress inked up. These can go in our paper making bag. I'm super excited to make paper. I kind of want to just go make more and more little tiny scraps so that I can do that. I'm going to sit on my foot. I'm going to regret this, but I am going to sit on my foot right now. Let's put that away so it's not in the way. Okay. What I would like is something. I have been trying to clean up after myself, and I just have so many projects going on right now that, and I keep starting new things instead of finishing the things that I've been doing. I need to start a journal that has like my drawings and stuff in it, and notes for things that I've worked on. I should start that. Wouldn't that be fun to have like just a separate journal that has your things in here? I was looking for something to put down to help me glue things so I don't get glued everywhere too much. I feel like I should start with the big pieces and then move on to the small pieces. But here we are. I am going to go ahead, and this is the back, and I'm just gluing these things down. I was nervous, and now I've talked myself out of it, and I'm not too nervous now, so I am it's a lot of text, isn't it, with all these book pages in here and now book pages on the cover. Lovely huge amount of text. Okay, so, and this is probably, I'll add this in the paint and we'll see, but I don't foresee adding a whole lot else to the back of this cover. Maybe something small. I think actually, now that I'm saying that, I think one of these buttons could actually go on the back, just in the corner. Not a lot. Just something to be like, yep, we were here, we saw this, we did something with it. Like that. That one does not even look like a poem. I am just folding that right over the edge of there. I hope I got enough. I am going to have a lot of stuff on the front, so I don't think I need as full of coverage, I guess, on the front as I'm going to need on the back. So I guess we should use most of this, more of it on the back. I thought I had way more than enough, and now I'm kind of like, could have been more. Could have been more. Oh, I'm so excited to just be doing this because I feel like I've been making, like, I spent the last week making ephemera, and then I was making this journal for my Etsy shop, which is absolutely lovely, and it was fun. But also, I mean, I just left so much writing space and stuff in that journal, and I didn't really feel like it was, I don't know, I guess I shouldn't say. It was super creative. And then I've been mass making these little tiny journals that are super cute. I guess is what the thing is it's not that I haven't been having, like, I have a lot of projects going right now. I started that other journal, and I put a lot of work on that, and I kind of had a plan for this, but also I wasn't really sure what I was going to do, but I kind of was super excited about coming back to doing it. And so I'm just glad that I'm here today and I get to work on this because, like I said, I've been really looking forward to it for a long time. That, I think, looks fabulous all by itself. Okay. I do think I like that a lot. I think I'm going to need more book page. So I guess I'm going back to doing this. And I'm just gonna pull this off so I can eventually take all of these little scraps and make them into big pieces of paper and not waste a single thing. I'm super excited about that, as I mentioned. Trying not to read the poem of When I Was in Love with You. There we go. Am I not in love with you anymore? Don't want to know. Okay. And now the fancy passes by and nothing will remain, and miles around they'll say that I am quite myself again. I guess I have gotten over you. So sorry about that. Oh, I can read the first part. Oh, when I was in love with you, then I was clean and brave, and miles around the wonder grew how well I did behave. That changes the second part. And now the fancy passes by, and nothing will remain, and miles around they'll say that I am quite myself again. Oh my gosh! Oh, that's funny. Okay. Got rid of that pesky love. And get back to myself here. That's pretty good. I enjoyed that. Alright. See? You should read all of these, maybe. We'll put Council of Moderation. That can become the title of this journal. Well, that is exactly what we're trying to not go for in this journal. I have a... Maybe I should put this in my more clean, modern journal that I'm working on. If this is not your jam or your cup of tea, I have a totally different journal that I'm working on. The No Vintage journal that is all just about modern things, and I can put stickers in it that I got on, wherever it is that I buy stickers, the place that shall not be named because people get upset about where we buy things. I don't know why. I've had people on the socials yell at me because I said, oh, I bought my printer, my little, receipt printer on Temu, and somebody came on and it was just like, should not, their stuff is scams. And I'm like, I have not really had problems with it. I guess it depends on what you're buying. I don't know. Very upset. I walked away. Do you want another poem? This one could be sad. I didn't read these beforehand. Maybe they're all kind of funny. I kind of have a suspicion they're not. This is short. Waiting both. A star looks down at me and says, "Here I and you stand, each in our degree. What do you mean to do? Mean to do?" I say, "For all I know, wait and let time go by till my change come." Just so, the star says, "So mean I, so mean I." Wait and let the time go by. Both us and the stars. Now that I've done that, let's tear it all off. Oh, because we were not paying attention, right? Because we were talking about how we're like the stars, just waiting for the time to go by. Well, I have things to do today. I have to get a cover put on this book, man. Even though it's already got a cover on it, I've got to put some stuff on it. Okay, that can go on now. Oh no, I've lost the glue stick. Okay, I'm just kind of shoving that underneath that fabric there, just like that. Oh, this is another one about stars. I did kind of pull some out that I thought were nice without reading them last night. Here's an example. This is called The Example. That other one had really strange, I don't know, metering or whatever. The Example. Here's an example from a butterfly that on a rough, hard rock happy can lie, friendless and all alone, on this sweet stone, unsweetened stone. Now let my bed be hard, no care take I. I'll make my joy like this small butterfly, whose happy heart I can't read anymore because I've ripped it off. See, I'm turning into my mother. I'm telling you, I'm turning into my mother. Maybe I've always been like this. This is not true. I think my mother's turning into me, which is about time, I have to say, that she did that. And don't worry, she does not watch my channel. She's going to be sorry someday. Someday I'm going to be YouTube famous and she's going to come along and she is not going to know anything about it. She'll be sorry one day that she didn't watch my channel. It's fine. It's fine. She doesn't have to watch my channel. I love her anyway. I'm just being a brat. You know? Oh, I give her things like this and she is like, "I'm trying to read all the writing." And I'm like, "You're not supposed to read it. You're supposed to write on it, silly." So I was just saying that I'm becoming like my mother in that way. I have to stop and read every poem. We'll cover this space up. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I'm going to put some paint on, and then I'm going to paint over this with like some sort of a matte medium. I have a random letter L on my desk for some reason. Super cute. We could just write love on it and be done. Oh, okay. I need to find, I have a whole bunch of those chipboard letters, and I need to find something to do with them. Inside they will go. I could do the cover, but they're too big. I really want to put like inspirations on the cover of this. This is going to be a very wordy journal without too much, I think, in the way of like, I'm just going to try this. Try this out. I have this peach color, and I think it will really kind of bring out some of these colors in here and look really good with this color scheme, even though there's none already in here. I also have some white, which I'm just going to pull out in case. And I just kind of want to go around the edges of this and give it a little bit of, I don't know. I really don't know. I didn't bring up any water for painting with, of course. My little girl cat is up here, and I'm very, very proud of her because she usually can't be up here, because earlier she was up here and she was all up in my business on the desk, demanding attention. I don't even know how she got up here, honestly. The door was not supposed to be open. And so I'm just going to put a little bit of paint, and I'm going to use my finger because I want to get a brush out because I didn't bring up water. And I'm going to put this all along here, and I should have. So I have this peach color, and I'm just kind of really mixing it with white because I am. And I just kind of want to push back this purple a little bit so it's not quite so in my face. And, you know, not quite so purpley. Even though I love it. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a worn look. And I like the way these two paints are kind of mixing now, so I am going to go back in with some of this and just put it on willy-nilly in different places and around. I'm just working on the front now. Not too much. I don't want to cover all of the purple, but I do kind of want to cover some of it. And I think that's going to be fine. This is drying really fast because it's like a really light coat of that. So, and that's kind of coming up, but I think the matte medium will probably work to kind of bring that together. I think it's dry enough that I can just switch back to the back of this. We're gonna get little bits of paper everywhere. Well, there's already little pieces. Let's be totally honest here. We know that there are already little bits of paper everywhere all around me. I am completely surrounded by little bits of paper. They are everywhere, I guarantee you. That is how we got here. Little bits of paper just keep coming into my life, and I keep having to make them into books and glue them down so that they're at least glued down. I don't know why I've taken this upon myself, but you know, well, because I like it. It's very therapeutic for me, I guess, to just get to do this. Spend time gluing down the bits. And get that kind of going there. wanted to look just kind of random. Right. Kind of random, and that is probably what's going to happen on the inside of this journal. A lot of random thoughts are going to come together into one great book of sentiments and quotes and inspirations for me to kind of come back to and live by. Oh, live by? I don't know about that. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Ponder on. Place where I can come and read a poem? Maybe. I think I'm gonna put some poems in here. I have some poems. I have some ideas. I am gonna mainly, we'll see. We'll see. I kind of want to focus on getting more central images going on and working around that. And I really kind of want to do some artwork and some painting and get into a lot of just kind of more art journaling kind of things in this journal. So that's what I want. And I'm kind of going back and forth, and I don't need to decide now, because whatever I decide now is going to be a guideline, and I'm going to eventually get away from it anyway. So I'm not going to be too hard about what I want. I just want to put a whole bunch of quotes and inspirations and have beautiful pieces of artwork in here and work on focal points, whether that's words or images. We'll see. It'll be fun. Come back and join and watch and see what happens. Painting and pen work. That's what I want to do right now. And I am doing this instead. So I brought a couple of fabrics over because I felt like I would definitely want to attach all my little buttons to a piece of fabric with some like string for sure. So I guess before I do this, kind of like that color with the color, especially since we put that, you could do like all of these frames. That could be kind of cool. That was not really what I was going to do with this. I got all of these out just because I wanted to have them if I wanted them. Do you guys like the peach, which kind of ties into this, or do you like the purple? I think I can fit all of this on here. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Famous last words. I can fit it all. And I'm gonna not worry about the charms today. Sorry, charms. I have this very beautiful sari silk. We could do a border just down the side here, like so, and then we could attach, I have 5 butterflies and 3 buttons, but I want to do something over here. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I love this sari silk. I might save this and use this as a closure for this book. That might be what I do. So now that I have this painted, what are we gonna do? Don't know. I have these fabrics and I have these laces and I have all these things, and I need to come up with some way to make it all come together. And this is where I'm running out of ideas. How big do we want a piece of this? I already have a piece this big. right? Why cut into the whole thing? We can have a little piece of it. Why? Let's use up the bits. Using up the bits. I am happiest when I'm just kind of using up the bits of what I have. Oh, so I'm just going to cut this and then fray it out. Fray it, and I think I'm going to cut this smaller piece off and just kind of leave more of a, sorry, I don't mean to be shaking the camera. Okay, let's put that over there so it gets out of the way. I'm just going to kind of start building a base for the front piece of this, and I am going to cut that off so that it fits really. Keep that bigger piece. So we have this and we have this. No reason to. Okay. Maybe we will, that's what I think we're going to work with for that fabric. Very nice. And what I was saying was that we could put a butterfly on the back and it'd be kind of cute to put it just kind of like over here in the corner, like that, or something over here. I really need to clean up around here, guys. I would be so much happier. Anyway, we could put that. That would be cute. That would be sweet. Anyway, let's keep that. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we won't. We won't know until we get there. So there's that. And then I want to use a little bit more of this, but it's already pretty prevalent. Given that we've worked on the spine in with this. So let's just chop a piece of this off as well. A smaller piece, Christina. And I have no rhyme or reason with this at all. No rhyme, no reason, no nothing. Do we want to sew this? Run it through the sewing machine? Maybe. And then we have some lace over there too that we can grab and put some lace on here. I mean, honestly, I'm going to be really tempted to just run it up the side and cover up a lot of this fabric. There is already lace that I have covered up over here. So, you know, would this be better if it was smaller? Would it be better if it was 2 pieces? I have not painted this down. I'm going to do that. I am going to do that, and I am going to need to do that with a paintbrush. Crackle paste. Oh, Crackle paste. Gosh, oh golly. I found Crackle paste. Heck yeah, we are. It's not even open. Okay. I found Crackle paste. That is gonna go on here. Bum, bum, bum. We're crackling the paste. We're crackling paste. Okay. We are crackle pasting this guy. And it says we'll get better crackling if we do a thicker application. Alright, so I want it, I think, in the corners is what I want. So I guess I'm gonna go eat lunch after I do this and see if this will crackle the heck on up. I guess we could put it right over the fabric. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe we should test that idea out without putting it directly onto our project as a test. Oh, I'm gonna get paste everywhere. Okay. Well, I needed to go get water anyway. Oh, I'm so excited. I am so excited. This will be fun. Yes. Okay. I told you it was going to be a maximal journal. We're going to do everything here for the good of the world here. Just gonna do it all. And that is not the right way to do this, but guess what? You know what? Don't tell me what to do. This is my... I was just thinking that I kind of wanted it to go up and down and not side to side. Right? I'm super excited. I bought this, like, as with everything in my studio. I've had this for quite some time. I bought it, I think I went to Atlanta. I'm gonna go get some water for my paintbrush, and I have to now let this dry completely. I'm hoping it's not too hot, as it says specifically, to apply this between also the humidity, between 65 and 75 Fahrenheit, and as I mentioned, it's June in Memphis, and it's probably, maybe it's okay. Who knows? Crackle paste, guys. I want to see it crackle. I haven't used it before. I grabbed it because I saw it and I was like, hey, we'll do this. I think it's going to be great. I'm not going to touch it at this point. I am going to leave it be. And we're back. This is now day 2 of this process. So I have put the crackle paint on. I left it for several hours, and last night I decided to put another coat on, and so I got a little bit more crackling, but I had to put on a little bit more. I'm gonna cover like this middle part again with this fabric and whatnot, and some buttons, and probably this frame. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that or what I'm going to write in the frame. I know what I want to write in the frame. I'm just, not sure. But I do have this now, so I can start to piece this together, where I want it to go and whatnot. It's very exciting. But first, since I have this crackle paint and it's not as much on the back, woohoo! Oh, you know what? That looks really cool. I do want to kind of put something on the back of this. I mentioned that before. As I was saying, let me grab, because I want this to kind of stand out a little bit more. So much fun here. So much fun here. Let's see if this book is already gonna weigh. This has like gotten so much heavier. I feel like I should have weighed it beforehand. I'm sneaking in. I don't usually film this early. I usually wait until my partner goes to work, and he's going to come up and interrupt me soon. But I figure I have probably at least an hour before, so I mean, I'm up early. Which is to say, I'm not up very early. We wake up really late. So I have this distress ink, and I'm just kind of turning it into an actual ink from the pad, and I am going to kind of pick up a lot of this distressing so my brush is really wet. And I'm just going to go back into here and let this soak in to these cracks to give it a little more contrast. This is just vintage photo, which you probably already know and love. Just to kind of give it a little bit more of an aged look. So to really make those, golly, that does not look so bright. That's what I get for getting up in the morning. I don't know. Maybe I should close the window a little bit if it's gonna be this bright. Honestly, too much light is not like really ever a problem for me, until just now. Okay, I hope you can see that. I hope you can. It is kind of picking up and going down into those creases and crevices and making them a little bit darker. I could try walnut stain. I could try black. I kind of want to stay with, I mean, I guess there's gray in this. That would go. I'm really weird about, but this is really cool. You could see that this was where I inked this yesterday, and you could see like around here where it cracked, and then you could see where it was coming through. Just from the distress ink that I put on my poetry. Well, that's looking great. Trying to think right now what colors of like distress ink sprays I have. I do think that I have a re-inker for the vintage photo somewhere, which would make this possibly a little bit easier to get some of this going. This deli paper has leaked through. Get some ink down there. How much do you want to put on? Yeah, it's okay. We'll try it. We'll try anything at least once. I don't know if I put it on there and then spray it, what's that gonna do? It totally comes right up. What I don't want here is I do not want all of my collage and all of my Crackle paint and everything to kind of float up off of my book, because I went too crazy, because you can already see where this is kind of coming up. I'm gonna next steps being next, I'm gonna let this dry really good, and I'm gonna put some probably, I've been using the satin gloss, I think it is, over the top. I just like that better than the matte medium. But I am going to put it's a varnish, and it's like a satin varnish in medium, and it's just gonna, oh yeah, it's yummy. Okay, very good, very good. It looks great. I'm gonna get it a little bit down into this pages just to give it a little bit more, color is coming out. You can start to see it, and it's just gonna giving it layers and layers and layers. So cool. Okay, I am gonna put something over the back of this as well for sure here in a minute. I'm gonna let this dry, so I'm probably gonna go back to sewing buttons, which I have not finished because I wanted to get the book back after I'd taken it downstairs to let it dry someplace where it was a little bit cooler, because I was worried I wasn't gonna get good crackling up in the studio where it's a little bit warmer. So, you know, that's what we're doing. I might just leave that. I can always add more later. And let's see, it's not super dark. It is not super dark. It's starting to get there here, but it's, I mean, it's coming along. This is pretty wet, and this is already like that book page under there. You can see it coming up. So I'm hoping that it will stick it back down when I put the varnish on there. Let me grab a paper towel to get rid of this. Okay. Since I wasn't working on this last night, I did work on some other things, and so my desk space is getting much smaller. My workspace needs, I mean, my whole studio, I need to just spend some time cleaning and cleaning. I think I'm gonna put this on the back. Writing on this with the pen and then spraying it down is just, it's so lovely. Just beautiful. And you can't really read my handwriting, it's just, but it looks so cool. I should just sit one night and write all over some fabric and do this. Very cool, very cool. Let's get back to this. While I'm letting this dry really good, I have this piece. I have this piece, which I've already, right, kind of started to sew things onto, and I don't know if I want to just put that right back over the top of that pink fabric. And I don't remember how I had this laid out yesterday. Exactly. I guess there's video proof of it. I'm pretty sure, I mean, it was something like this. And good. That's wetter than I thought, or picked up something somewhere. Great. That's kind of what I was thinking. I definitely want to use this to cover that middle part. Okay, I can't do that because the butterfly's gonna be upside down. Let's check and see. Okay, where? Oh my gosh. Did I mention I could totally separate these two pieces? I might need to do that at this point. That was kind of on this button, but it is no longer. And why is that? That is because I want to put one of these pieces probably on the back with pink fabric. And I might need to get something else for some contrast. And I guess I can just write in there my little inspirations. I'm a little reluctant. I guess I can always tear another piece of fabric if I really hate it. Now if I can find my pen. Aha. Laying these things down, kind of trialing them. That's what we're doing. being where we want things. I think that would be lovely too. I can put any butterfly I want on the back, right? I have tons, so there is still that. That might work. Something like this. Is it enough? I'm covering all of our crackle paste. Does it need stitching? These are the questions I'm asking myself. And thank you for joining me here today while I kind of work through all of this. Let me know what you think. This button does not look good with that butterfly. Because they're too much alike. Here I have this little guy. Okay. I do think I like this quite a bit. Actually, I just need to figure out what I'm doing with this. And maybe put a piece of paper down underneath here to help me write on that without it shifting around. And I think I am just going to use the pen, and I'm just going to write inspirations in there and hope that that will work, even though oh, I think I can just fit it. That's inspirations right there. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be bold and we're gonna be brave, and I'm gonna glue this. I'm just gonna glue a piece of paper down beneath that, and it's probably going to be completely visible. I am going to cut a piece of this cardstock so that it is reasonably the size of this frame area here, so that that will be framed in there. And one could assume, I'm just playing. I am just playing around here today. I got ideas. I got ideas. The creative juices are flowing. Need a bit of glue stick. Get that. I do kind of want to stick this down. I want to stick the edges down. I want this to not be shifting, because I'm going to try and write on now to, good, I can see that, and I think it's going to be okay, because I don't think it's going to be as noticeable if we put the frame right over the top of it. So I think that that's going to be fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. Now, have you guys seen me? I have videos where I'm like writing things. Give me a second. Give me a second. And look at that. I did not quite nail it because, of course, it's not centered. And we can fix it. We can fix it. And I think I like it. So to fix it, I'm just gonna glue another little piece right here because I don't think you can see it, but I can move the frame obviously to make it more centered, because for some reason when I wrote on it here, I wrote it out and it was a lot longer, and I kind of measured off of that. And I thought it was going to take up the whole entire frame. However, it didn't. And that makes perfect sense, honestly. Because when I glued it down to I was having a hard time and the fabric was shifting a lot, I think, is part of the problem. And also I think yesterday where I had that like big piece of fabric I was writing on and I had all the space in the world, I made it a lot more stretched out. So that's the other half of the problem. So, fixing this, and so what I want, there's a big gap there, because what you probably cannot see that I can see is that there is that you really can see where the cardstock is, and I'm going to cover that up with the frame. Ta-da! Okay. And you can still kind of see it peeking out behind the frame. But I cut the cardstock to fit, and I'm just extending it a little bit so that it's still covering that space there, and that looks pretty good. The only thing is you can see it here where the cardstock is, and that I think is just gonna have to be like that. And I'm gonna go find some small brads, and I'm gonna use those to attach this here, and there. But first I guess I'm gonna glue this down. I like this. I am kind of a huge fan of my own handwriting, which is maybe a strange and odd boast, but I like it. I'm gonna put it right on the front of this, and I feel like that's going to just slay this whole project. Okay, so maybe I should have done that a little bit differently. Given that this is going to be on the front of a journal, and it's not going to be glued down, and I am going to put the brads in there to hold it down, was what I was thinking. This is a paper frame, and I really don't want it to get destroyed. So maybe I should have tried harder. Who knows? Brads. A whole wonderful thing of these beautiful brads. Oh, these are so tiny. I'm looking for these brassy looking ones. Maybe I don't want to use those. I don't think that I'm going to use those after all of that. What else can I put on here? I could put some brads just randomly around in these fabrics. I'm just trying to use my things somewhere. I think I have some little dragonflies. They're not in here, but I do have some. I have these that are like, pretty, pretty, pretty things. Oh, anyway. There's a big brad. Lots of fun things in here. Sorry, I have gotten totally and completely mesmerized by looking at these things. Just completely drifted off. Am I gonna put brads anywhere on this journal cover? And maybe the answer is, I don't need to have the answer right now. Do I need to have an answer immediately? No, not really. We'll think about it. We can do that if it's an option. We can go forward knowing that that is an option now. Okay, so we have a title for this. And I think that needs to kind of go front and center. And we need to probably, I don't really want that lace to go on straight. Yeah. And we're gonna put this here. I can see the pink. I can see the pink, and I'm gonna put that there, and so it looks like this is just kind of going crazy, whonkity. Whoop, whoop. Okay. I can cut this down a little bit now, but I think what I'm gonna do is just put some more buttons on here. That looks better, and it kind of matches that butterfly, but it's not too close to that butterfly. I do have my pink thread that I was using, so that's a good sign. What I don't have is my needle that I had yesterday. Okay, and it is not in its little place. Oh dear. I have been being so good about not losing my needle. Don't drink that. Fluorescent orange paper. We'll put that on the back. We will make another piece of paper to do it. We need to put you there. And so, I guess we could put that there. That would work. How do we want this guy to go flying? How do we want that guy to fly? I have, this guy. Oh, look at that button. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, I love these buttons. I am so glad that I am getting to use them. Is what I had going on yesterday, I think, was I had groups of buttons. Who's got the buttons that I liked. And I spent all that time doing this before I was ready, and then I'm really disappointed about not seeing my needle. I am really, truly disappointed. And I know I didn't put it back. And I feel like I didn't hand sew anything else yesterday. So I also kind of feel like it should be here somewhere. I did do a lot of other things. In here and need a lot more messes. What did I do? I got fabric out. I wasn't hand sewing anything. I was stitching some fabric onto some packing paper. That was fun. and then I painted it, which I don't really like. The painting I did. I have another needle. I guess I will break down and figure out where they're at. I hope this guy's not too big in any way. He has kind of a massive needle that I've found. Okay. This thing's huge. Should be easy to hopefully put this in there. I am gonna finish this, and then I need to shoot one other video because I don't have a video for coming out the next day. I guess I could do, I do have one. Are these where I want them? And I think the answer is yes. I think this is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna put this right here. I'm going through the front of the butterfly, and then woo, I'm not tying it off. I'm gonna make a knot in the front. I am really thinking that I need to do, I keep thinking I really want to do embroidery, and I have not ever been really an embroiderer, but I don't know, have you guys seen like the visible mending that people do now? It's absolutely wonderful. Hold on. I'm gonna tie a knot in this. I don't think I really need to, but I'm going to. You know, also super fun would be to sew some more beads literally onto the front of this journal. I am not going to do that. But totally could. Would be fun. Now that I'm looking at these and I'm sewing things again onto this journal. Oh, embroidery. So what I did do once is it was really kind of more of a scrapbook page, and I did a border that was, I had, and I don't have this book anymore, but it was showing you how to make embroidered flowers, and using silk like ribbon thread, so it's like wider and it's silk, and was just so pretty. I think I have that. I could show it to you. I could take that and use it someplace else. Could do that. I think I'm getting close to being done with this. I could maybe go back and dye this a little bit darker. I might actually get out some brown paint and try paint instead of the Distress ink to make it a little bit darker and more exciting. But I think I'm getting pretty done with what I want to do with this. I think that this is going to be enough for me. I have something in the frame. I have sewn on some buttons. I'm also super looking forward to starting this journal here in the next couple of days and weeks. I will post it as I go through and fill in this journal with wonderful quotes and inspirations and things that I find kind of bring me some happiness and some joy and help me kind of make it through my days in a positive kind of a way. Okay, there is that. Oops, I broke that, and it's gonna be okay. It's just gonna be shorter than I probably would have made it anyway. Can you guys see? Look at that. Look at that. Ooh. Oh my. So, like, this doesn't really match anymore, this other fabric. After that's been glued down, but I suppose that's gonna be fine. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna put this on the back. I might put another piece with this butterfly. I might put this on there. We'll have to work on the back separately. I am going to next probably hit this with, I'm probably gonna try one more time to get that a little bit darker. Maybe I should have put some over the fabric instead of, oh, how would we make this better next time? I like the little butterflies. That is gonna work. And I need to just sew that down and call it great. I don't think I need to continue to try and find the exact right spot for it, because you know what, it doesn't matter that much, Christina. It really doesn't. It's gonna be just fine wherever it lands. And I mean, I could sit here and spend forever and move it around and move it around and move it around, which is what I want to do. And then I could find the, even if I did find the exact perfect place, I mean, it's gonna wind up where it winds up anyway, because it's not like I'm going to measure it. It's all based on my eyeball. Every place, as long as it's on there, it's perfect. On is perfect. And I'm just gonna do a quickie little something, hopefully a square notch is what I'm going for. What it actually winds up as, we don't know. Okay. Don't pull it so hard that we break it again. And snip, snip. Okay. We're gonna do the back. We are going to do the back. Now, this is good. I think I like the fact that we're giving a little bit of love to the back. I do think it kind of needed it. Even though I was kind of like, nah, it'll be fine. I'm gonna use this piece of this, and I'm gonna make more of this later. Excuse me. And this butterfly here, I think we might skip. I guess we'll stick it on here. Oh, wow, okay. I'm just sorry. I just really like this strip of fabric that I've written on. I did think about taking all of the pieces I was going to use and doing this to them, and I didn't. But hey, you know. This is gonna be a shabby chic looking journal. Good job. Okay, I want you guys to tell me if you've seen this far. Am I doing enough? Am I giving up too soon? Should I keep going? Should I keep going? Should I have left off and not done as much? What do you guys think? You have opinions. I know you have opinions. Put them in the comments. I'm, you know, reasonably thick-skinned, so, and I know you guys are nice, so. I mean, the butterfly's gotta go down there. It has to. And that has to go like that, so then that is gonna go there. And is what I'm missing is I feel like it needs one other thing. Alright, the question is, do we make this darker, or do we leave it well enough alone? And it's kind of, I would kind of like it darker, but I'm kind of also a little bit concerned about putting more water on it, because I don't want all of my media to start cracking off of there. So I think I'm just going to grab the varnish and go for that. Next, so this is Liquitex Gloss, Medium, and Varnish. And perhaps you're thinking that Christina does not need to be, well, maybe I shouldn't put thoughts in your head. What I'm thinking, maybe I should just, let's own this. What I'm thinking is maybe I don't want to use the gloss. I just like the way it feels. I do have matte medium over there. I could use that. That might be a better choice. But you know what? I'm doing this way because I like it, and we will see what happens. The reason why, you can probably guess, is, sorry, I'm like sitting here looking for a brush, obviously. I'd really like a bigger brush, but this is what I found. So this is what we're having. Just because this is all crackly and old, and it's got this great aged and weathered look, and it shouldn't really be glossy, maybe. That's what my instinct is telling me. because this would probably not be glossy. We'll see how it comes out. It's all an experiment. It's gonna be fun. I have not used the crackling paste before, so I certainly have not put a coat of, gloss medium over it. So this is experimental. We could have done, before we threw it on here, a test pilot thing. I could have grabbed something and set this up yesterday. But what would the fun be in that? Who am I to say? Well, I mean, I'm the only one who really, gets a say at the end of the day. I'm going to try and get underneath this piece of paper that's peeling up. Ah, yes, it's going to stick down now. I've convinced it. I have convinced it. And it is going to do what I want. Where I have used this before is when I've made master boards, and as I mentioned, I really like this. I have used this on book covers before because it does give just such a nice feel. And here, where I didn't add the medium, I can just see it taking shape where this like poem is with this and going over this, and I can see that it's doing what I love. So hopefully this is going to just, I think it's going to be, this is great. I'm really, really loving the way this is kind of where it's starting to dry over here and the way that it's like soaking in, but it is making it kind of shiny. Ah, for yum. Yes. It just goes so well on a book page. Ta-da. Everything's turning pink. Okay, and then I just want to do around the inside edges of the book as well, because of things like that. And that is sloppy messy, as you can see. Sloppy messy. And I think it might just stay that way. It's my book, and I probably should have gone in and painted whatever I was painting all the way in. Oh, what am I doing? This is going to be interesting now. I made a rash decision here and decided that I was going to do the whole inside cover of the book. And of course the problem with that is now, until this dries, I will not be closing the book. And I still want to do the inside on the other side right now while I have this going on. So we are going to make that happen. Just you wait and see. I got a little carried away. As I said, I probably love this stuff too much. The other thing, I could have just gone ahead and collaged all of this on the inside of here, and I still can go back and do that because I think that's going to need something. I'll probably cover most of this up with like a envelope or some such something. Shenanigans, as my son would say. Envelope shenanigans. I don't know that he has ever said that. I'm putting words into his mouth now. Look at me go. Fantastic. I am gonna finish doing this, and then I'm gonna go away and let this dry, because as I mentioned, my partner's gonna get up here like in the next couple of minutes, and he'll probably come up, and I know he doesn't want to like interrupt me while I'm filming this. This is gonna be a super long video unless I split it into two. Okay. But you know what? This is almost done. This is almost done. I think I'm just going to come back and attach everything to the front cover. And then I'm going to say, look guys, we made a cover on this book that I have been just excited about for, I mean, honestly, it's been a couple of weeks. I was going to work on this last week and I just did not get around to it. I got into making some stuff for my Etsy store. I started making these little tiny mini journals, and in my mind they're just going to go viral and fill the world with mini journals, and I hope that that is true, but it has not been true yet. But they're there now. Okay, I am gonna let this dry really good before I put the other parts on, so that the inside can dry. That got super pink when it got painted. Definitely gonna get a pocket there. Oh my gosh, this is really coming along, and I am excited. I will be right back. Coffee break. Hi guys, it's been an hour and I am back, and look at this. We are, ooh, I'm blinding you now. Blinded by the light. I think we lost some of the crackling because it soaked up that whatnot and what have you that we've put on here, and it's probably filled in some of those cracks. This cracks is probably what I'm guessing. It's still kind of good down here. Put it on kind of thick if you're gonna do this. That's all I can say. I'm gonna glue these things down, and don't know where they're supposed to go, and that's okay. They're gonna go on there and they're gonna be where they're at. I think I already said that. We can glue these things down, and I think we're gonna call this done. I am super happy with it now. It was just so plain before, and now it's got a little bit of lace and a little bit of butterflies, and it's got some direction, and it's gonna be so pretty. And I need to figure out how am I going to glue this down. And we lost pretty much all of our stuff, so I can have options are the glue stick. I think I'm just going to use my Tombow. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I could use Fabri-Tac. A lot of you probably use that if you're doing this all the time. I don't have Fabri-Tac. I don't use it. I use this instead. So, and part of the reason is so you can see where I think I probably used bookbinding glue on this before, and it's changed this fabric a little bit. So I'm just going to stick it down with this and hope that this will work. And I think it will. I think it's going to be just exactly what we wanted. I don't want my little ties to be glued down. Okay. Let's make sure I'm not too far off camera. Okay. So you can see what I'm doing. You guys have glued things down. Get the butterfly going the right way. He's gonna live here now. There we go. Oh, this is so cute. Okay, don't know what's gonna happen here. We could have backed all this with cardstock or something. Not necessary. Why make unnecessary work for ourselves? I guess we could have done this whole thing on a piece of cardstock and then glued it on. That is a totally acceptable move too. And then you don't necessarily have to worry so much about what you're doing. So I'm going to tuck this underneath this butterfly. And underneath this butterfly up here without pulling up the whole shebang. I was just out in the yard while I was waiting and I have this little bug and it's like stuck in my hair and I can see it. It's like right in front of my eyes. Great. That's what's happening here. Stay calm in the face of danger, and that's kind of hanging off the edge of here, and that's fantastic, and it's a little messy and a little gluey, and I think it's going to dry and it's going to be just fine, guys. No worries. Oh, let's push this down. Okay, get the bug before it goes. I don't know where it went. Anyway, hopefully it's not on me anymore. Okay. Great. Watered the plants on the front porch, so that brought in bugs. It's still there. I feel like I'm maybe just seeing things now. Okay. I was thinking while I was watering, I might use this too. There's a spider on my glasses. Teeny tiny little spider. I don't know if you guys can see that. My glasses are really dirty. What are we going to do with you? Oh my gosh. Why did you want to come in the house? Why do you want to live on my glasses? He's building a web on my glasses. This is not what we want. So, got spider. Now what am I going to do with him? Great. Okay. Now he lives in our paper pile. Oh my gosh. Should I take little tiny spider all the way outside? I don't know. Eek. I am only not totally freaked out because you guys are here. So thank you for, you know, maintaining a little bit of peace and I don't know. Okay. I want that to go under, so I want this to come over. I don't know. Just kind of look like these are bits and bobs that have been pieces of stuff. Go for it. Let's go for it. I wonder what would happen if we just put the matte medium over this fabric. The only thing is I kind of want to leave the frayed edges free. so I'm not going to do that. Let's leave that so I can go over the top of that, maybe. This is almost done, I promise, guys. I know this has been very slow crafting with Christina today. I think I'm going to rename this Slow Crafting with Christina. I got the glue on there. Put this where we want it. I'm kind of trying to get this butterfly where I want him to go and live, is what I'm trying to do. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Okay, we are in it to win it now. Okay. Pretend like we've made a video before. Keep this on screen. So I'm going to put this here. Oh. I'm covered in glue, so everything must be going right in my world. I don't know how you judge that in your world, but that's a pretty good sign that in my world everything's going okay. This button has a little piece of fabric string underneath it. Okay. That is, I think, okay. And it is going to be a little gluey and a little loose on the edges, so we get the frayed pieces are going to kind of come up and give it some visual interest and some like things for us to touch and feel, and gives a sense of being kind of a little bit imperfect and just put together, even though we, well, put together a long time ago and then exposed to all kinds of things. These are my book of inspirations. I'm going to fill it with quotes, and this is what it looks like. I think it is, I'm pretty happy with this. It's got all kinds of texture and interesting things to look at and to see. You can see the Crackle paste. I've pretty much covered it at the top. I put a lot of layers in here, covered them all up. We still have this beautiful beaded binding. So nice. And then the back of this book looks like this, and the pages are like this. This can probably dry a little bit, but I think it's fine. I don't think it's going to stick to the pages or anything. And we can decorate this front cover and the inside sheet, and I'm going to end this video on this. I appreciate you guys being here so much. Thank you for allowing me to have my little crafty morning and coming along for the ride. If you're still here, be sure to like, subscribe, and share to my channel. Come back and check out this. This will be a playlist for making this whole journal. This has some definite weight to it now. This is like heavy with the modeling paste, so that's kind of a thing. I think this book, I'm super excited about it. I think it's going to come together. I want to work in it, get into these pages. I'm going to add some, here soon, I'm going to be watercoloring in these pages and heaven only knows what, and doing some little, like, I think drawing some flowers and doing some watercolor washes and putting my favorite quotes in here. So I hope you're excited for that. Come back and share some slow crafting time with me next time. Thank you. Like, subscribe, and share. And I will include some links for some of the art supplies that I've used down below, my Amazon shop. And check out my Etsy shop. I have some journals in there. I'm making these little itty bitty writing journals, and I think they're super cool, and they have kind of a cool story, and I hope that you will check those out. And I don't have one on my desk. I need to finish some more. So I'm going to go do that. I will see you next time. Bye!